So, I'd like to talk about productivity and its purpose and how that can determine whether you're productive or not, as in whether your purpose is aligned with the purpose of productivity. So, productivity's purpose is to either master something, master a skill, or to just produce something. So, for instance, this video challenge for me is just about producing something every day. I have never, other than basic things like brushing my teeth or what else, using my facial scrub for like decades, I never really had the. Maybe I have done something for 110 days in a row. Maybe I have. I never really took note of that in the past. Maybe like diet or something. But yeah, overall, no, probably not, or hardly. So for me, that's a challenge in itself. Like that's interesting to see how I would feel. Would I find it meaningful or not? And so it's not about the mastery of anything. Absolutely not about mastery, because literally I don't feel like anything's mastered, and I don't want that. Like I said, that's not my goal or motivation. So it's purely just to produce something every day. Or you could be like, if I was doing this differently and wanting to master the video production, kind of YouTube video production, it would have been a very different everything. And I don't know if I would have had anything daily. Anyway, maybe I would, but yeah, the videos would be getting far better quality wise in terms of the just editing and, well, everything really, production, right? But that wasn't on the agenda. That wasn't what I wanted to. That I didn't care for that. And so those are the two reasons why we would want to be productive. But what if neither of these things actually are important to you? Or shall I actually rephrase this? Why are either of these things important to anyone? So the mastery piece is the sense of, this is kind of back to the expertise and experts. In a few videos ago, I talked about how that's all paradigm, and how I suppose only those specific skills like surgeons or hairdressers or dentists or that kind of doctors, butchers, I don't know, something really, really. I mean, it could be anything really. You can be, yeah. I suppose there is a sense of accomplishment, or there is a sense of that like that's your thing, right? So it's like an identity stuff, right? So it's an identification with who we are and what we do. We crave that sense of definition. And the other one, where it's just about producing something, where I come from, for the in this instance, is to leave a legacy, or to leave a trail. It's not even a legacy, because this is not well formed. This is just literally every day just doing something. And but it will become part of my legacy, in the sense that it will be either a pile of stuff, or I would make something more of it. I hope to make more of it, but yeah, I don't know. And again, it's like to make our life count for something, or to kind of leave a mark, to say, okay, I lived and I've been here on this planet in this form with these ideas and views. Again, it's a kind of a matter of identity, but it's something else. It's kind of how you affect the world around you. More like being part of a bigger puzzle. I feel this kind of legacy thing is where the first piece is identification. It's like, who am I if I'm not an expert in something? And I'm not good enough if I'm not an expert. So hopefully you can see that neither of these options, or rather these motives behind wanting to be productive, are particularly, I like to use the word healthy, but in a sense of 21st century healthy, like looking for these kind of crutches. They're crutches, essentially, I would say. So the third version is that, what if you are not, and this is kind of my story, even though I crave these other two ones. I mean, I have for long periods of my life wanted to be an expert in various things, and I was considered for a while, and still am in some way, but considered, and yeah, I suppose to an extent maybe, but I just, like I say, feel like time to do away with desires to be an expert, and just with the expertise. But the where I come in is that, essentially, my story is that, so I crave these things, but I mean, every time I find them vacuous, very much so, and that's where I fail, or rather fall, or both, and both are terms that are judgments when you're coming from this kind of perspective where it matters so much, because who are you without it, and what, your life didn't matter. Well, what if that's not how you measure who you are and whether your life matters? And I believe that's the case. I believe that's not how we measure either of these things. And yet it's hard. It's hard not to fall into that trap, if I may say so. And I just did. So in my case, I remember this is astrology and human design mixed all together. Is that essentially two sentences. One was that, or three maybe sentences, but here two are more important, is that I'm just not meant to build anything lasting in the sense that it will stand forever, but it will be transient. So there's that about my chart. That's an astrology one, but also human design says that any structures that I built, I know that they are not meant to last because there's nothing really lasting about anything in life. So in that sense, that's why I would always have a problem with productivity, because deep down who I am isn't meant to be creating anything that is meant to be solid, measurable. I'm meant to find a way of existing and identifying myself outside of those parameters, and to have a sense of meaningful life without that kind of legacy piece that, if I don't live, who did I live, did I matter, and all that, to find all the meaning without all these external crutches. And that's why I keep falling and like sticking with things, and I complete them, and I will complete this. And so far I can definitely say it's been vacuous. I mean, I'll like it. I don't mind coming here chatting. It's just fun, but it's like, I'm not, maybe if I had an audience and they were like really finding this important, maybe would be more meaningful. And but it's again external. It's like, yeah. But even then, I don't know if I would want to be doing it every day. It's the piece about productivity, because it would want to come from whenever I feel like sharing something. So I don't know. But it's just this kind of like having to, because I said to myself I will have to. That's the challenge, and it's fun. It's like I say, it's just like meh, 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 whatever that expression is. So yeah. So I think it's a big one. I think this one, and it's a good one. So I have about 40 or so days, and well, till the end of October. So then I already have plans for something else, and we'll see where that will go, and whether it will fit anywhere near Shimabri. But we'll see. Anyway, that's it for today.